So, hi students, welcome back to our class. So, for our today's discussion, we will discuss the first topic when it comes to the subject purposive communication. So, the first one, or the first lesson in purposive communication is to know first the communication process, principles, and ethics. So, for our lesson objectives, here's our lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students are expected to demonstrate a clear understanding of the key ideas in communication, to know the importance of communication, why do we need to study communication, to distinguish the elements and models of communication, and of course to discuss the principles and communication, and their ethical implications. So, what is communication? So, ano nga ba ang communication? So, the term communication comes from the Latin word communicare, which means to share something in common, to unite, to join, or to have things in common. But guys, always remember that when we are communicating, it's not just only to unite, to join, or to have something in common. Minsan, when we do communication, nakakasira din ito ng relationship. Sabi nga nila, communication can either build relationship or destroy a relationship. So, it is a process by which people send messages or exchange ideas or thoughts with one another in a verbal or non-verbal communication or non-verbal manner. So, when you do gestures or any body languages na ginagawa natin while we are communicating kahit walang lumalabas sa bibig natin, it's also a form of communication. So first, I want you to think about this. Is communication a science or an art? So who among you says that communication is a science? Or who among you says that communication is an art? And of course, who among you says that communication is both a science or an art? So we will discuss that. So una, communication is an art. Bakit natin nasabing communication is an art? Because it involves your creativity. When we say creativity, how we do communication in a creative way. Paano nga ba natin sasabihin sa isang tao yung isang hindi magandang balita doon sa way na hindi siya masasaktan? Or paano natin sasabihin sa isang tao yung mga maling bagay na ginawa niya na hindi siya ma-offend? So, the savvy communicator can use various forms of words, chants, tone, and diction to make a situation more palatable and change the original negative perception of any given encounter into a more positive one. Kasi minsan, di ba, ang hirap mag-relay ng information or ang hirap makipag-communicate, especially yung i-communicate mo, or kapag yung i-communicate mo is a negative one. So, nasa sayo na as the giver of the message kung paano mo pagagandahin in an artistic way yung communication. The next one, of course, is communication is a science. Because it follows a certain process which can lead to an effective communication. When we say effective communication and when we say it has a certain process, meron siyang process na pinagdadaanan. Hindi pwedeng mauna si receiver kay sender at hindi pwedeng walang message. Just like when we are doing our experiment. Diba, may mga steps tayong sinusunod bago tayo makarating sa result. Hindi pwedeng magkaroon muna ng result bago si problem, diba? Lahat ng experiments nagsisimula into a problem. So may pinagdadaanan siyang process. Hindi pwedeng mauna at hindi rin pwedeng mag-overlap. So, communication is both an art and, of course, a science. So why there's a need to study communication? Bakit nga ba natin pinag-aaralan yung communication? Is it important? Kasi di ba parang ang dali naman makipag-usap, ang dali namang makipag-converse sa isang tao. But aside from conversing with others, aside from sharing information with others, there are a lot more kung bakit kailangan natin mag-study ng communication. First, it's because communication is central to life. We cannot live without communication. Para siyang hindi rin natin kayang mabuhay pag walang oxygen sa buhay natin or pag wala tayong oxygen. Why? It's because sabi nga nila, no man is an island. So, paano tayo mabubuhay? Paano tayo bibili sa mga tindahan? Or paano tayo mag-aaral kung wala naman tayong communication? Paano tayo magbe-build ng relationship kung wala naman tayong communication? So, in everything we do, we are doing communication sa mga pets natin or sa animals or even in living, non-living things, di ba? Nakikipag-communicate din tayo. And even to ourselves, nakikipag-communicate din tayo. So, in everything that we are doing, we are conversing. We are doing communication. Kahit sabihin mong hindi ka naman nagsasalita or wala namang lumalabas sa bibig mo, pero yung body language na ginagawa mo or the things that you are doing with your gestures, with your body language, it's a form of communication. So, the next one is to help solve problems in a professional life and improve relationship and personal life. So, whether it is your professional life or your personal life, kailangan mong makipag-communicate to resolve the conflict. Sabi nga nila, wala namang bagay na hindi nadadaan sa mabuting usapan. So, we do communication to help us a common understanding kapag meron tayong mga bagay or meron tayong hindi pagkakaintindihan. We communicate, we explain our side to our partner or to our colleagues para lang magkaroon tayo ng common understanding. Kaya nga merong mga tinatawag na mga peace talks, mga ganyan. Kasi nga, dinadaan nila sa mabuting usapan yung mga conflicts to resolve that. So, poor communication is the root of many problems and effective communication is one solution to these problems. Do you agree? Yes, because kapag meron tayong poor communication or pag hindi tayo magaling makipag-communicate to other people, pwede tayong ma-misunderstood, di ba? Kahit maganda yung intention natin pero mali or hindi maayos yung way ng pagkikipag-communicate natin, it can sometimes become a misunderstanding or a conflict. Kasi lalo na pag may mga terminologies tayo or hindi natin tinitignan kung paano magre-react yung isang tao, pwede tayong magkaroon ng miscommunication. Kasi baka mamaya iba yung sinasabi mo, iba yung lumalabas sa bibig mo, sa actions na ginagawa mo. So, pwedeng magkaroon doon ng misunderstanding. So, poor communication is the root of many problems. So, communication is consequential. When we say consequential, dapat, sabi nga sa saying na think before you talk. It's because, or think before you speak. It's because lahat ng gagawin mo, lahat ng sasabihin mo may consequences. It's either nga to build relationship or to destroy a relationship. So when we do communication, pag-isipan muna natin kung tama nga ba yung sinasabi natin or appropriate ba yung mga words na lumalabas sa atin or yung mga sinasabi natin. So communication principles and practices can resolve disputes. So just like what I'm saying a while ago, na the principles of communication or the communication itself can resolve disputes and conflicts. So next we have communication is ubiquitous. Paano natin nasabing ubiquitous? Because since communication is central to life, communication can be found everywhere. Even those people who have disabilities, meron silang communication na tinatawag. Diba? There are many forms of communication or there are many ways on how us people will communicate to one another. Lalo ngayon, mas mabilis na ang communication sa help ng technology. And communication plays a major role in nearly every aspect of our lives. So, sa lahat nga ng aspeto ng buhay natin, whether it's professional or personal life, kailangan nating makipag-communicate. Kailangan ang communication for us to have a better understanding of one another.